सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविंदं परमानंदं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. So we saw the 361st shloka, I think. Ativa sukshma paramatma tattvam nastula drishtya pratipattumarhati samadhina atyanta susukshma vrittya jnatavyam aryaihi ati shuddha buddhibihi. This paramatma tattva cannot be known by a stula drishti because it is ati sukshma, whereas by ati shuddha buddhi, those who have a good level of chitta shuddhi, by them it can be known. It can be known and it should be known. Jnatavyam has the tavya pratyaya has multiple meanings there, but here we can take that it can be known through sukshma, this susukshma vritti, atyanta susukshma vritti. Since they have that kind of a buddhi which is shuddha, the brahmakara vritti takes place there and it is clearly manifest thereby. Through samadhi they can know. The 362nd shloka is introduced by Bhagavan Vyakhyanakara by saying Sadrushtantam mano nairmalye dhyanam karanam aha yatheti. So mano nairmalye dhyanam karanam. Dhyana, this nididhyasana rupa dhyana is karana for nirmalya of manaha, for the impurities of the which are there in the mind to go away, meaning for purity of the mind. Dhyana is the karana, says Bhagavad Padacharya in the next shloka, along with an illustration, with an example. Sadrushtantam yatha suvarnam putapakashoditam tyaktva malam swatmagunam samruchyati tatha manasattva rajastamo malam dhyanena santajya sameti tattvam. So example is suvarnam, just like gold. Gold has impurities. Gold which comes out during mining, that has impurities, but how does it become pure? Putapaka shoditam, through when it is put into fire. When it is put into fire and the impurities are burnt, melted and taken away, that time the gold shines in complete purity. Yatha, so similarly, yatha bhavati tatha manaha, similarly mind also, that is exemplified. And how suvarnam putapaka shoditam suvarnam yatha malam tyaktva, having given up its impurity which is mixed up, it is not its own impurity. In fact, if you want, say, let's say nickel is mixed up with gold, that time nickel is the impurity. But if nickel is what is wanted and gold is mixed up, gold becomes the impurity. So it depends on what exactly you want. Thereby everything else becomes impurity. We want Atma Tattva, so Anatma is all impurity. Thereby we say Shuddha Atma. Atma itself manifests in the form of everything. But why do we say Shuddha Atma? That Shuddha Atma, because everything else which is unwanted is Ashuddha. Otherwise really there is nothing called as Ashuddha, because everything is Atma, manifestation of Atma. But if we say everything is Atma, do not have Mithyattva Nishchaya, then we'll hanker after everything as Atma, we'll consider that as Atma. That's it. Tadatmya Sambandha is there, and through Tadatmya Sambandha, Mamakara, and then all this Kama, Karma Phala, then Bandhana. So Suvarnam, which is purified through fire, using fire, malam tyaktva, having given up all impurities, meaning anything that is not gold, having given up everything that is not gold, swatma gunam samruchyati, it attains its own guna, not someone else's. And how does it attain? That attainment is figurative there, even in the example, because Swatma gunam, it cannot attain its own guna. The goldness of the gold belongs to the gold. It cannot attain it after the impurities have gone. It shines in its own swarupa. That's the meaning there. Similarly, tatha manaha sattva rajas tamomalam santyajya, having given up the mind also, having given up the sattva, rajas and tamaha, all the three gunas which are not its own, they are superimposed, they are mayika gunas. Those gunas it gives up, and having given up, tyaktva, santyajya, here some upasarga is added to tyaj dhatu with twa pratyaya, because upasarga is there, twa is replaced by lyap. So lyabanta pada, the same meaning santyajya, having completely given up. That some upasarga also tells you that having given up with its root cause as well. How? Dhyanena. Here dhyanena, because jnananantara dhyanena, that dhyana which is after the jnanotpatti, not only vivekajanya of atma anatma, but also the aikya jnana. Tattvam sameti. So sameti, it attains, sameti sampurvaka eti, it attains this tattva. What is the tattva? Its own swarupa, that is the tattva. This is the bhava in 362. Suvarnam putapaka shodhitam swaguna tirodhaya kamala apanayartha kriyamana paka visheshaha. What is that putapaka shodhitam? A particular type of technicality, I mean technical kind of a process, wherein the process where anything other than its own guna has to go away. So every other quality should drop away, everything else should drop away, and its own characteristics should remain. That is the paka vishesha there, a particular type of heating. So whatever the technicality is in creating gold. Pute nikshipya raktam rudadi sanyogena kriyamana agni sanyoga putapakaha. So putapaka is explained as the paka is cooking. The literal meaning is cooking, is heating up through heat. So having put it in some kind of a furnace or something, then raktam murdadi sanyogena, through some kind of a chemicals or whatever is added, the process is explained, and the samasa is explained. Kriyamana agni sanyogaha putapaka tena shodhitam viyojitam malam, and through that process it becomes purified. Viyojitam malam, the mala is dissociated from gold. Yatha malam tyaktva swatma gunam bhaswaratvadikam samruchyati. All the other colors which you see in the impure gold, they all go away, and having given up all of this, what happens? It attains its own guna. Swatma gunam bhaswaratvadikam samruchyati. It shines. Its guna is to shine with its own yellowish tinge. Samyag apnoti tatha manaha. Similarly, mind, the antakarana, sattva rajas tamo malam santyajya. Yadyapi sattvasya rajasa tamasa va amishritasya malatvam durgatam tasmat sattvam avashtabhya swadhyasapanayam kuru. What was said earlier is that sattva cannot be given up. Through sattva, rajas and tamas are to be conquered. So that still holds good. But why is it said all three should be given up? There is no real mixing up. Amishritasya nirdvando nityasattvastaha bhava. And then in Gita also it is said. Here he is quoting the Viveka Chudamani shloka itself earlier, that swadhyasa, superimposition, has to be taken away by using sattva first. Rajas and tamas has to be taken away. Ajnana karya. Then again the sattva also has to be dropped, because it is not your own guna. You are nirguna. And in Gita, he quotes Gita also, nirdvando nityasattvasto bhava. So nityasattvasto, that sattva has to be held on, nityasattva. That has to be held on till the dvandva can be dropped in, which are created by the tamas and rajas. Iti Gitopadeshacha. Since Gita also says this teaching exists there also, therefore sattva has to be held on to initially. Tatha तथापि सत्वं शुद्धेन नश्यति इत्युक्तत्वात् सगुणान् समतीत्येतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. So there is Bhagavad Gita shloka which comes about a little later, much later. The earlier one in the second chapter. In the 14th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says, now you have used sattva to its effect, to remove rajas and tamas, but still सत्वं शुद्धेन नश्यति इति उक्तत्वात् सगुणान् समतीत्येतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. To remain in your shuddha brahma bhava, brahmatma bhava, you have to give up this sattva also. How will that go? Through shuddha atma, through remaining in your own swarupa, which is shuddha atma. And further, in the second chapter itself, Bhagavan Krishna has said in Gita, Nistraigunya bhava Arjuna. You, however, O Arjuna, be without any of the three gunas. Nistraigunya. All three gunas should go away in time. Iti Bhagavad Vachanachya nirgunam brahma praptum manopi rajastamo vinashartham sattvaavalambanam tyajati iti bhavaha. Finally, sattva also has to be given up after rajas and tamas has been dropped. Nasvadet rasam tatra nissangam prajna bhavet iti Gaudapada uktehe. And in Mandukya Karika it has been said, Nasvadet rasam tatra nissangaha prajna bhavet. Through this prajna, or even in the form of this prajna, you remain so nissangaha, without any association with any of the gunas and gunakaryas. And there the sattva karya is what? When one is meditating, also when a person is close to samadhi or close to nirguna, the nirvikalpaka samadhi, that time even the savikalpaka will give some rasa, ananda rasa, sukha rasa. If you hanker for that sukha which is swarupa sukha also, then the nirvikalpaka samadhi will not be there. Or even savikalpaka samadhi, just about to go into samadhi, there is rasaswada. That rasaswada, na asvadet, that rasa, ananda rasa should not be partaken. You should not get addicted to it. You should not look forward to it. Oh, I am going to get ananda. I am going to get ananda now. So that also has to be given. That is sattva karya. Since no rajas or tamas is there, you are not falling asleep and you are not going outward towards the prapancha. You have to be very alert, otherwise you will fall asleep. And if you are too alert, you will become very active. The mind will become active. It will start thinking and then draw the indriyas towards the world. But when both of these are not there, then sattva is there. What is the sattva karya? Sattva karya will result in ananda. That should not be partaken, or one should not associate with that sattva which is manifest as ananda. Otherwise, that will also block the samadhi, which is the goal, and that samadhi will finally take away all vasanas. Sattva karya rasaswadaha tyaktavya ityuktehe. Because it is said that sattva karya, this rasa aswada, partaking this rasa should be dropped. It should be given up. Yena tyajasi tatyaja ityuktehe. And in Mahabharata, what has been said? Yena tyajasi tatyaja. So here you have to understand that whatever sattva has been used to give up rajas and tamas, even that sattva has to be dropped. So yena sattvena tyajasi tat sattva tyaja iti uktehe kutra Mahabharata ityadaya. Bhuyaschante vishwamaya nivrittihi iti shuddha sattva pradhanayaha mayayascha nivritti shrutehe mithyātvena shuddha sattvasyapi malatvam mantavyam. And a Shruti Vakya also exists. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, Vishwamaya nivrittihi. Bhuyaschante Vishwamaya nivrittihi. Again, in the end, the Maya, Vishwa and Maya nivritti happens. Vishwa is resolved and Maya is also resolved into the Atma Tattva. Across kalpas also Vishwa nivritti is there, but after Jnanotpatti, Maya nivritti, meaning Avidya nivritti is also there. Therefore, everything that is Maya, here Maya is mentioned specifically because Maya is made up of three gunas. So when Maya nivritti is there, complete nivritti, then one has to understand that the sattva also has to be resolved. Thereby, iti shuddha sattva pradhanayaha mayayascha nivritti shrutehe. This nivritti shruti says what? Maya also is resolved, which is shuddha sattva pradhana. Although it is made up of three gunas, it is shuddha sattva pradhana. Thereby, shuddha sattva also has to be dropped in the end. But we have to remember, in the end, we cannot put the cart before the horse and say that I will give up sattva. There are a lot of people, Neo Vedantins or tending to be Neo Vedantins, who lose their path and then give up the dharma karya even before chitta shuddhi is there, let alone jnana. Even if jnana is there, then jnana has to become sthira. It should become your second nature. Before it becomes your second nature, if you drop away nitya naimittika karma, which are holding, which are fructifying this, the chitta shuddhi, shamadama is effective because nitya naimittika karma is blocking all the effects of papa. It is a kavacha. If we drop that also, and meaning we drop the sattva, then this chitta shuddhi will last not even for a moment. Shamadama will go away. We won't even know that it has gone. It is like you're climbing a mountain. You're climbing a mountain and you just give up the rope or whatever you are holding on to, the slip, and the fall is steep. You have to restart. So unless you are climbing, unless you are continuing the sattva, till you reach the peak, you cannot give up. So that is said here as sattva karya, no, not sattva karya, sorry. Iti shuddha sattva pradhanaya mayascha nivritta shrutehe mithyatvena shuddha sattvasya api. Shuddha sattva is also mithya. This maya is mithya. Shuddha, it has been brought in to explain its karya. Once that karya is gone, and even the rajas and tamas is gone, that sattva cannot be held on to in the end. Therefore, mityatvena shuddha sattvasya api malatva mantavyam. That sattva is also mala. That sattva is also mala at that moment. Dhyanena santajya. So dhyanena santajya, here in the shloka what was said, this rajas tamo, sattva rajas tamo malam santajya. How? Through dhyana. Dhyanena here, and after the jnanotpatti, of course, this dhyana is nididhyasana rupa. Dhyanena santajya tattvam brahmatvam neha nanasti kinchaneti guna guni bhavasya anishtatvat. Since there is no guna guni bhava, there is this nirguna brahma. Brahma is nirguna, therefore there is no guna guni bhava. It is not a basis, it is not a locus of any guna. Thereby sattva guna also cannot be there in Brahma. Sattva guna is there in the superimposed Maya. This Brahma is without, this Brahma meaning I am without any guna, sattva guna also. Neha nanasti kinchana, there is not even there is no plurality, there is no guna also in plurality. Nothing other than Atma Tattva exists. Sameti Brahmanaha nirgunatvat. So what sameti? Santajya tattvam brahma tattvam or brahmatvam sameti. Brahma bhava sameti. One attains that, meaning one remains the way one is. Brahmana nirgunatvat sattva gunat sattve tattva praptehe asambhavat. Because Brahma is nirguna, you are nirguna, then if you remain with holding sattva, holding on to sattva, no, I will keep on doing what I was doing, even after the stage of sannyasa is called for there, then holding on to that sattva guna will also bring in issues, because the nirgunatva will not be there. The sakshatkara of nirguna brahma will not be there, because sattva ansha will remain as mala. So he said tattva praptehe asambhavat. Tattva cannot be attained if sattva also is held on to. And here sattva, you see earlier rasaswada has also been mentioned. So if even in samadhi, if the goal is not to remain in atma tattva but to experience the ananda, if the goal is to experience the ananda, that ananda rasaswadaha, then that will also mean that you are holding on to sattva. There is some hankering for that ananda, and thereby tattva prapte asambhava there will be impossibility of attaining the tattva, which is moksha finally. Sattvikyaha akhandakara vritterapi मूलाज्ञान भंजिकायाः विलयेन अधिष्ठान मात्र अवशेषत्वं भवति इति भावः. So what is the idea? Sattvikyaha akhandakara vrittirapi. Akhandakara vritti is a sattvika vritti. Everything else is prodding you to some activity. Here it is for withdrawal, you are doing it. Complete withdrawal into Atma Swarupa. And this akhandakara vritti is brahmakara vritti. That is sattvika vritti. But that api, even that vritti, Moola Jnana Bhanjikayaha, and what is that Sattvika Vritti, Brahmakara Vritti or Akhandakara Vritti going to do? It is going to take away the Moola Jnana. Moola Jnana Bhanjika, it will completely destroy it, burn it away. Bhasmi Karoti. Vilayena Adhisthana Matra Avasheshatvam Bhavati iti Bhavaha. When that also goes away, that vritti will also go away. Vritti is momentary, but that vritti is of your own self. You cannot objectify yourself. So that vritti which is trying to take away ajnana, having taken away ajnana, it has no other task to do. It will go away. What remains is Shuddha Brahmatma. So vilayena adhisthana matra avasheshatvam. What remains is the adhisthana, which is you, Brahmatma, which has given satta to everything existent, apparently existent, and which has given spurti to everything existent, apparently existent, and again even the vritti which appear sentient. That Brahmakara vritti also got spurana from you, and the, so to say, object of that vritti being you, having resolved the Mahavakya into one singular thing, which is no longer a thing, it is no longer an object, it is the very swarupa of the subject. Thereby what happens? That vritti also does not need anything else for phala. The phala vyapti is no longer needed because it is you. And then adhisthana matra avasheshatvam. Only adhisthana remains, that vritti also resolves, and then through vilayena adhisthana matra avasheshan bhavati iti bhava. This is the idea, you alone remain. In continuation, 363 says, Nirantarabhyasa vashat taditham pakvam mano brahmani liyate yada tada samadhissa vikalpavarjitaha Swatodvayananda rasanubhavakaha. Nirantara abhyasa. This abhyasa should be nirantara. Even the dharana during dhyana, during yoga, in the fifth anga itself, so sixth anga itself, dharana dhyana samadhi. That dharana, when does it get converted into dhyana? Although we say that I am going to do dhyana. You cannot do dhyana, you can do dharana. I am going to practice samadhi. You cannot practice samadhi. It is all figurative. The goal is samadhi. That's why we say that samadhina, or to practice samadhi. But what we are really practicing is dharana. The dharana in the case of a Vedanta is on the Mahavakya. We are contemplating on that, we are analyzing that, and then to the cost of everything else we are analyzing that. Then that Tat and Tom Padartha Nischaya is into one Advaita Brahmatma, thereby dhyana happens, and then resolution of everything into that results in absorption called Samadhi. That dharana should be Taila Dharavat, says the Yoga Shastra. This is Nirantara Abhyasa, continuous repetition of a single vritti at the cost of all vrittis is Nirantara Abhyasa, and Nirantara Abhyasa Vashat, how tad itham, in this manner, the way it has been explained, Nirantara Abhyasa should be done, and under the influence of that itham Manaha Pakvam Manaha Brahmani Liyate. When and Yada is said, so Yada Pakvam Manaha Brahmani Itham Tad Manaha Itham Pakvam Brahmani Yada Liyate Tada. So when this mind resolves completely into Brahma, when everything else is burnt. So here we'll see Tat in the if Bhagavan Vyakhyanakara explains anything more, otherwise Manaha is Tat. But other way possibility is everything else is burnt. That can also be Tat. We'll see if Vyakhyana says something more. Tada Samadhihi Saha Vikalpa Varjitaha. Vikalpa Varjita is Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. So Samadhi Pullinga Vikalpa Varjitaha Samadhi. So what is said here? Swataha Advaya. So Advayananda Rasanubhavakaha. What is it going to do? It is that Samadhi is facilitating this Anubhava or Sakshatkara, which is Ananda Rasa. That Ananda Rasa will fructify, and what is that Ananda Rasa? Advaya. So Swatodvaya Ananda Rasanubhavakaha, which comes upon its own. There is nothing else remaining. What was said earlier as Adhisthana Matra Avasheshan, that Adhisthana Matra, you alone remain, that Adhisthana is you. Therefore, the Advaya, Ananda, whatever remains, that Advitiya Tattva, which is you, that itself is of Ananda Sarupa. Therefore, the experience which is said is of your own self, or Sakshatkara is of your own self. Itham Nirantara Abhyasa Vashat Pakvam Viparita Bhavanadi Dosha Shunyam Manaha. So Pakvam Manaha, here it is said that Pakvam Manaha is what? Viparita Bhavanadi Dosha Shunyam. This mind which is purified now. Purified how? The way earlier it was said, Suvarnam Putapaka Shodhitam. Similarly, this mind is also is purified. And what is the purification there? There is Shunyata of Dosha. So Shunyam, Dosha Shunyam. What are the doshas? Viparita Bhavanadi. Viparita Bhavana, due to Anadikala Samskara Vasanas which are there, which tell you that you are an individual, whether in a form of this a person, a human being or not, all these vasanas across janmas, across genders, across pranis, we have been individuals. So that individuality is so dridha, although we may not take ourselves as, no, I am this particular male or female, that may not be as dridha as the individuality. Obviously that is dridha, but then individuality is so dridha that jivatva bhava is dridha. So even when you withdraw from the sharira and when you are going towards samadhi, you may not think that I am a man or a woman, but still I am an individual that is there. It is there for yogis. The Dvaitis who practice yoga, for them that individuality is still there. They want to merge with Paramatma as with that samadhi. They want to merge only during that samadhi. Even that merger for them is figurative. It is figurative for us also, because there is no merger possible when there are no two different entities. Same entity cannot merge with itself. But in their case it is figurative by the reasoning that the Paramatma is completely separate from this Jivatma. So that Jivatma is very dridha. So Viparita Bhavanadi, that is Viparita Bhavana. Jivatvam, individuality is Viparita Bhavana. And then Adipadena, everything else, Sambandha with each and every other dosha is included with Adipada. That Mana, which is Viparita Bhavanadi Dosha Shunyam, Yada Brahmani Liyate, when that kind of mind is resolved in Brahma, Nirvrittikam Brahma Matra Avashesham Bhavati. And here you see Nirvrittikam has been said. So Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, there is Nirvrittika, there is no Vritti remaining. Vritti Shunya. Yoga Shastra also defines yoga as Vritti Shunya. Yoga is Samadhi there. So, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha is a sutra there in Yoga Shastra. Here we say Nirvrittikam, same meaning there. Brahma Matra Avashesham Bhavati. So, what is our Samadhi? We say Samadhi is Brahma Rupa Samadhi. That is Brahma Matra Avashesham Bhavati. Brahma Rupa Samadhi. Nirvrittikam. The vritti is resolved, the mind resolves. What remains is Shuddha Tattva, which is me, and then that Atma, which I am, is Brahma. So Brahma Matra Avashesham Bhavati Tada Swataha Aprayatnena. Swataha is what? Aprayatnena, without any other effort. All other efforts have to be dropped off. This notion that I have to do something else for this experience, I have to do something else to attain myself. You cannot attain yourself by Kriya. You can attain yourself only by dropping the Kriya. Every Kriya will bring in more Dridhatha with, or more Tadatmya Sambandha with any instrument that you are using for that Kriya. We use the Antakarana, we use the Ahankara, we use the Buddhi, we use the Indriyas, we use the Sharira, we use the Prana, for all for what purpose? For a Kriya. Even a mental activity, we use the Sukshma Sharira. Then the Tadatmya Sambandha comes about and it binds us more and more by generating more and more phala, more and more vasana. So samsarana continues. There is no possibility of attaining yourself through Kriya. Therefore, jnanena moksha. Praptasya prapti jnanena bhavati. Apraptasya prapti karmana. Through karma you cannot attain what you really are. What you have already attained. You have attained, to attain yourself is not possible because you are trying to attain the already attained. Meaning you are already that. That cannot come about by karma. It can come only through jnana. Because all associations are mithya. The idea that I want to attain this sukha or attain moksha, attain my own swarupa, how will this be possible? How will this be possible? Through what will it? I have to do something. So this hunting for, Pujya Swamiji used to call this experience hunting. So hunting for this experience that I have to do, this experience anubhava is nothing but jnana. To make this anubhava as something which is other than jnana, one hankers and hunts for this rasaswadaha. For that hunting there is an activity. That activity brings in tadatmya sambandha, it takes you away from your own tattva. Because you are trying to attain the already attained, and attaining the already attained through a kriya, thinking that it is unattained, is possible only due to ajnana, due to avidya. And how will it go? It will only go when avidya goes. How will that avidya go? Only through vidya. So ajnana can go only by jnana. And that idea that I have not attained what I have already attained is possible only due to ajnana. Therefore it can go only through jnana, not through karma. Therefore swataha aprayatnena, at that stage aprayatnena, prayatna is only for shravana manana nididhyasana thus far. Then for samadhi, this nididhyasana, when it is in complete measure with vasanas reducing, they stop the obstacles to remain in that nididhyasana, the mind resolves and then aprayatnena swataha advayananda rasanubhavakaha. Advaya yaha anandaha, that ananda which has no other second, Brahma Swarupa Bhuta, because there is no other Brahma, therefore Brahma Swarupa Ananda has to be Advaya Ananda. Saha eva rasaha, that itself is rasa. Brahma Advaya yaha ananda saha eva Advaya Ananda rasaha, Advaya Ananda rasaha, and then Raso Vaisaha. Taittiriya Upanishad says Raso Vaisaha. The Brahma itself is called as rasa. Atma is called as rasa there. Raso Vaisaha iti Shrutehe. Parama Premaspadatvat Rasatvam. And elsewhere in Brihadaranyaka, Parama Premaspadatvat, every activity, even the most selfless activity, has Ananda as its goal. Even a person who gives away, biting his teeth, he gives away something, does dana, not wanting to do dana, but Shastra says you do dana, or someone tells him that you do dana, and he is a miser to the core. Even that person who is biting his teeth and giving it away, he has Ananda as its basis. That dukkha is there when you are giving, but the search is for Ananda, because Shastra and Acharya say that by dana you will get more punya, that punya will give sukha. That Shraddha drives the person, even the worst of the misers, to do dana. Even biting his teeth. What is the search for? Ananda. Even people give up their salaries for the huge pay packets they give up. They give up beautiful countries they have traveled to, they have very luxurious lifestyle, and start up an NGO, because they cannot see the dukkha of others. They are doing seva. They want to give away their wealth and help others, uplift the others. So where is the sukha there? There is sukha. They cannot see the others' dukkha, because that dukkha of others brings in dukkha. They cannot live with that dukkha. How can I live with myself? How can I sleep at night looking at others' dukkha? Looking at others' dukkha selflessly also is searching for happiness, because that dukkha brings in a state of mind, one's own state of mind is disturbing oneself, and there is dukkha. So the Premaspadatvacha tells you that the prema, the love for oneself, is the root for every kriya, even the selfless kriya. I am not talking about the selfish kriya, because selfish kriya through Kaimutika Nyaya it is understood. But even the selfless kriya has to be understood as wanting to do something good for others. Not able to see others' dukkha is not being able to live with oneself with that dukkha which comes about in one's own vritti. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. In the end, in Brihad, there is a refrain that every activity, patyu kamaya, it is not for the love of the husband, love of the wife, love of the children, love of wealth. Not it is for the sake of those, for the other. It is always for whose sake everything. Finally he says that, the Acharya there, Yajnavalkya says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything is dear for the sake of oneself, because it is the most dear. And in Advaita, everything is a manifestation of one's own self. Thereby, the priyatvam towards others is also priyatvam towards oneself. Iti shrutehe parama premaspadatvacha rasatvam. That rasa, ananda rasa, is due to your own swarupananda. Tad anubhava janakaha vikalpa varjitaha saha. So that samadhi which is free from any triputi or any vritti, that is tad anubhava janaka, that is rasa anubhava janaka or ananda anubhava janaka, advaita ananda anubhava janaka, saha ahamadi sakala vishwa vasana kshaya hetuhu samadhi. That samadhi is countering, is the cause for kshaya of all vasanas. Vishwa vasana, sakala vishwa vasana, all vasanas of the world are resolved, are countered by this nirvikalpaka samadhi. And what is that sakala vishwa vasana? What are those? Aham adi, starting with ahankara outwards unto all koshas with mamakara and everything else that follows, unto all vishayas. Samadhi vikalpakhya ityartah. Vikalpakhya, there may be a typo here. It is so vikalpa varjitah isn't nirvikalpakhya or avikalpakhya, that may be the word there. That samadhi ityartha. This is the meaning in 363. The introduction to 364 says tatphalam karsniyena upapadeti samadhina iti. Karsniyena, completely tatphalam, the result of this is explained. The result of that means what has gone by the samadhi and the fructifying vasanaksha ityadi is the result. So tatphalam karsnena completely explains upapadeti samadhina iti through the next shloka, which starts with the word samadhina. Samadhina nena samasto vasana granther vinasho khila karma nashah antar bahis sarvat eva sarvada swarupa vispurti yatnata syat. So swarupas vispurtir yatnata syat. Vispurtir yatnata means vispurti ayatnatah syat. Swarupa vispruti, what was said, swataha advaya ananda rasanubhavakah swataha. Swataha is extended here by saying swarupa vispruti ayatnatah. Swataha is ayatnatah. Automatically it will happen because it is your own nature. You don't have to do anything for that swarupa vispurti, that spurana of atma, I, aham, without the ahankara which is objectified, or with the association with ahankara as a subject which objectifies others, or even as a sakshi, that swarupa vispurti ayatnatah syat. This is the phala. Karsnena completely explains samadhina, anena samadhina, through this samadhi, which is nirvikalpaka samadhi, samastha vasana granthi, which is said as granthi, tasya granthehe, samastha vasana granthehe vinashah. Bhidyate, everything goes away, it is cut asunder, and all the vasanas are burned, bhasmi kritaha. Samasta vasana grante vinasha. That is the vinasha of all the vasana granthis. Akhila karma nasha. And the effect of that karya is what? Karma. Karma nasha also will happen. Akhila karma nasha. And karma here is not the kriyas, but all the karma phala. Karma phala is also called as karma. Punya papadikam. All those are destroyed. Prarabdha remains, because some say prarabdha does not remain, but jnani sharira itself is prarabdha, so prarabdha remains. Antarvahi sarvata eva sarvada swarupa vispurti yatnata syat, and spurtir ayatnata syat. Without any yatna, this swarupa vispurti will happen. Antarvahi sarvata eva sarvada samadhina. Antarvahi, all these are which are there within or without, outside, all should go. And when sarvada, when the samadhi is practiced all the time. Anena nirvikalpakhyena samadhina yogena samasta vasana grantehe granthivod uchchedyataya sthitanam samasta vasananam mithya jnana janitanam vinashah atyantam uchchittihi अखिल कर्मनाश संचितानां सर्वेषां कर्मणां नाशः भिद्यते हृदये ग्रंथिः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि इति श्रुतेः. So through this nirvikalpa samadhi which is called as nirvikalpa yoga, through that yoga samasta vasana granthehe vinasha syat. All the vinasha will happen of all the vasanas, everything. Granthivad uchchedyataya sthitanam, those which are, these vasanas are, they have become so drudha, and they have, as though, you know, they have become a knot, very difficult to open. So that is the comparison with the granthi. So granthivod, they have become granthivod. Sthitanam, which are remaining in the hridaya, samast vasananam mithya jnana janitanam, and they are created due to ajnana, which itself is mithya. That ajnana, what does the mithya ajnana do? It creates mithya jnana. So both ways it can be understood. It creates this superimposition, it creates the vikshepa. So the avarana creates vikshepa, so we can take the mithya jnana creates mithya jnana. Both will have to go away. Mithya jnana janitanam vinasha of these vasanas which are created due to ajnana. Atyantam uchittihi, and removal is what? It is not a little by little, completely it is removed. So akhila karma nasha also happens. Sanchitanam sarvesham karmanam nasha. Akhila karma nasha, sanchita is destroyed, and when you say sanchita is destroyed, agami is included, because agami goes and joins the sanchita karma. Prarabdha remains as the sharira, as a like a short arrow. Hridaya granthi bhidyate. It is said in the Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad mantra says bhidyate hridaya granthi kshiyanti chasya karmani iti shrutehe. Hridaya granthi is completely cut asunder or is shattered, and karmani cha asya jnaninah kshiyante. The karmas also are destroyed. So karmas there are the sanchita ityadi. Antarbahi sarvata eva sarvada swarupa vispurti ayatnatah syat. And here antarbahi sarvata eva sarvada can be taken with the earlier part by saying that samadhi, through the samadhi, all the antarbahi vasanas go away, and sarvatah all sorts of inward and outward, all of these go away. So vasana karya, but then better still, Vyakyanakara says antarvahi sarvata eva sarvada swaswarupa vispurti ayatnata syat, meaning whether you are focused inward or outward. How? Just because of prarabdha you may be focused outward, but then you are not giving any reality to the world anymore. There is no craving for the vishayas. Thereby even bahihi engagement is there, inward or outward engagement being there. What happens? Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadayah. Wherever the mind goes, there the samadhi is, because the adhisthana of everything is Brahma. You have mithyatva nischaya, nama rupa is resolved. What remains is the Brahma tattva. Asti bhati priyam remains, that is you. Therefore wherever the mind goes, ghatapatadi you see, ghatapatadi nama rupa is resolved, and the adhikarana, adhisthana, which is you, is seen. Therefore you don't have to withdraw anymore and practice samadhi separately sitting in a cave. You can be in the world and practice samadhi, the nirvikalpaka samadhi. Same samadhi in the world becomes sahaja samadhi, because the adhisthana is seen and no nama rupa is seen. There is no vasana, there is no craving, there is no kama led karma is not there. Therefore antarbhahi sarvata eva sarvada, all the time, everywhere, sarvata, inward or outward, swarupa vispurtihi, the spurana of atma tattva, brahmatma tattva happens everywhere unto everything, because there is nothing else but you. Ayatnatah syat is spashtam, it is clear. Ayatnata, because it's your swarupa. Ataha Shrutesh shatak gunam vidyan mananan mananadapi nididhyasam laksha gunam anantam nirvikalpakam. Shrutehe shravanat spashtam. So Shrute is Shruti, due to Shruti. Due to Shruti, what is said here is the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is explained as the benefits of them are explained. See, Shravana itself leads to moksha, but then that is for an Uttamadhikari. An Adhamadhikari has to do Manana and Nididhyasana. Even for an Uttamadhikari, Manana and Nididhyasana may not be needed, but Manana and Nididhyasana become included in the phala through Shravana. During Shravana itself, at Shravana stage itself, Manana happens, there is doubtless knowledge, and Nididhyasana is there, the person becomes absorbed. because the Chitta Shuddhi has been earned in the prior janmas. But for the masses, even in Upanishads, even for Shvetaketu kind of people, or even for Nachiketa, who may be considered as an Uttamadhikari, but not a Uttamadhikari who was taught only once. There is some repetition there also. Everyone needs it. So these Uttamadhikari is like Shuka, who in the Garbha itself he got jnana, and then as soon as he was born, he didn't want to be in the world, he ran away. But otherwise, for almost everyone, Manana and Nididhyasana proper are needed. So the benefit is explained for such people. Shrutehe shatagunam vidyat mananam mananadapi nididhyasam lakshagunam anantam nirvikalpakam. So all the four, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and Samadhi, Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, are compared, their effects are compared as in order of superiority. So this 100 and all is a Shatagunam is all just a number. It is not necessarily so, but it is a praise. It is a praise. So here it is said, Manana is Shatagunam Vidyad. You should think of Manana as superior to Shravana, because see, Shravana is repetitive. The same idea is explained in various ways. As Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi used to say, you don't need to study so many Shastras. Even Sringeri Acharya says that you need not keep on studying endlessly if you have got the Tattva, because that is Shastra Vasana. That Shastra Vasana, Sattva Vasana will also block your moksha. Vidya Maya. Vidya is also Maya, one of the effects of Maya. We have seen. What is it? Avarana. So, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Ichha Shakti. So, we have seen Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. All three are gunas of Maya. You hold on to Sattva to take away Rajas and Tamas. But then, Sattva guna remains, that Vidya, Jnana. After Jnana also you hold on to that. Try to gather more and more Jnana. It will become an obstacle. Therefore, Manana is more important than Shravana. Once you have got the Tattva, you have to inquire into that, whether there is any doubt remaining. So therefore it is 100-fold beneficial. And Mananadapi Nididhyasanam is 100-fold. And or Lakshagunam, here it is said Lakshagunam, instead of 100-fold, it is said as 1,00,000 times. So you can just put a number. So 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,00,000 times, and then Anantam, Nirvikalpakam. So you can add any number. It is just figurative. It is just a praise. Thereby each is superior to the other. Spashtam, it is clear, says 365th Tika as well. In continuation, Nirvikalpaka Samadhina Sputam Brahma Tattvagamyate Dhruvam Nanyatha Chalataya Manogate He Pratyantara Vimishritam Bhavet. So Nirvikalpaka Samadhina Sputam Brahma Tattvam Avagamyate, Dhruvam Avagamyate. Firmly this idea is set of Brahma, which is Atma. How? Clearly, firmly and clearly. Dhruvam and Sputam. Through what? Means Nirvikalpaka Samadhina. Through this Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. Na anyatha. Chalataya Manogatehe. If the Manogati is Chalana, is moving about. So there is Chanchala. So Chalataya, Chanchalataya. Manogati is Chanchala. Mana is Chanchal. Chanchalam means Mana Krishna, says Arjuna. And Krishna agrees in 6th chapter of Gita. So Manogatehe Chalataya na anyatha. Anyatha it is not possible. Otherwise it is not possible. Pratyantara Vimishritam Bhavet. What happens there? Anya Pratyaya is Pratyantara. So when one is objectifying something else, or the mind is running towards something else. So there are some other vrittis. So when, because of this chanchalata of the mind, so chalataya manogatehe, both can be taken as hetus for vimishrana. All the pratyas are mixed up, all the vishaya pratyas or any other anything other than atma. So anatma pratyas become mixed up. Otherwise means when nirvikalpaka samadhi is not there, one is losing the grasp over the Brahma Tattva, and thereby one may go outward, and then what would happen? This manogatehe chanchalataya, due to the mind itself being flickery, what will happen is that the other vrittis will get mixed up, and then there cannot be a resolution of the mind anymore. This is the idea here. Nirvikalpaka samadhina brahma tattvam sputam karatala amalakavat avagamyate dhruvam nischayah. Certainly, so dhruvam firmly, or nischaya, certainly it will happen, or nischayana it will happen. It will happen with certainty. The definiteness, firmness would be there, and clear understanding of Brahma Tattva would be there. How? As though pratyaksha, as though berry is in your hand and you cannot get confused as to what kind of berry it is. If you place a strawberry, you know it is a strawberry. No one else can tell you it is not a strawberry. It is as clear, and that clarity is compared, that sputatvam is compared with karatala amalavat. Just like a berry in your hand, it would be that clear, this Brahma Tattva. It is not that you are objectifying Brahma Tattva, because it is you, but the clarity is comparable to paroksha. Therefore this aparoksha is not paroksha, pratyaksha. This aparoksha jnana is also called as pratyaksha for the same reason. Anyatha prakarantarena na avagamyate. Through other methodologies it will not be possible. This is the way, Shravana Mana Nidhyasana and the absorption of the mind in samadhi. Tatra hetumaha manogatehe chalataya pratyantara vimishritam vrutyantara sankirnam bhavet. Otherwise there is a mix up with other vrittis, and that becomes the hetu to not let you stay in Brahma Tattva. Thereby vasanas are fructifying again. Vasana kshaya will not happen if you don't stay in samadhi completely and all the time. If that doesn't happen, then vasana, the samadhi going away, vasanas will remain and they'll fructify, and they'll create other pratyas, and those pratyas will take you further away from Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva. This is 366. We'll see 367 in the next part. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharantam Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. Any questions?
Harivam. In the stanza 362, I think, you said Triguna Nasha, that is Karya, that is this Prapancha, etc. When it Nasha, it happens, then Karana also gets destroyed, or what is that you said? Maya also gets Nasha, is it?
In 363, yeah. So Sattva also goes away, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
That is not in 363.
Okay.
Which one are you talking about?
362.
Yeah, 362. So 362, there it is said Sattva Guna has to go away. So Maya, the explanation given there is Maya also goes away.
Goes away means, what does it mean? Like,
okay, Maya is avidya. When you say avidya goes away, what does it mean? Same thing.
Okay.
What does it mean?
Avidya,
what is avidya? What is the meaning of avidya there? Not ignorance. Because ignorance is lack of something. Can lack of something go away? No. So what is it? It is yatkinchit bhava rupa. Yatkinchit bhava rupa, there the nanch pratyaya is in what meaning? It is in virodhartha.
Na vidyate.
So virodhartha avidya, virodhartha maya goes away means what? Virodha is no longer there. Jnana is no longer stopped from becoming manifest. So jnana utpatti happens, and jnana utpatti happens completely. So ajnana karya will go away. That's the meaning of maya goes away. What is the meaning of maya goes away? Prapancha is not going to go away, right?
I know.
It is cognitive. If it is cognitive, jnana is cognitive. The prapancha, maya karya will be there as cognitively it is there. But then it is not seen separate from oneself. Separation from oneself is due to ajnana. Limitation is due to ajnana. By saying maya goes away, it means ajnana or avidya goes away, meaning separation is no longer there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is one thing. And this maya, is it same as the shakti of Paramatma? It is guna guninor abhedaha. That does not come here.
Yeah, guna guninor abheda is explained for what reason? It is explained for the reason that it is never seen separately from Maya. Cannot be seen separately from Brahma. It should not
Brahma,
be used everywhere. Guna guninor abheda does not mean that. See, if that means, if that is how it is, then Maya is definitely not a guna of Brahma. So when you say guna guninor abheda, there this Brahma and Maya is not talked about. Maya is Maya guna of Brahma?
No.
Maya is not guna of Brahma. Maya is Shakti. Shakti is not guna.
Shakti. Yeah.
And Shakti, it is inferred. It is not a real Shakti. It is Mithya Shakti.
Mithya Shakti. Okay.
Brahma is Nirguna. To explain the Maya Karya, we have seen to explain the Karya, some Karana has to be brought in. So Karyanumeya Maya. Maya is inferred because Karya is seen.
Okay.
You cannot say that Brahma is the creator, Nirguna Brahma is the creator. If you say Nirguna Brahma is the creator, creatorship is a guna of that Nirguna Brahma. How can he be Nirguna as well as be the creator?
Okay.
So creatorship is the guna for Nirguna Brahma. If you say it is a contradictory state, it's an oxymoron. To explain that Nirguna Brahma cannot be the creator, but we see creation despite him being Nirguna, we say Maya is a Shakti through which he becomes the creator, and that creator is Saguna Brahma, Ishvara.
Okay.
But once this ajnana goes away, then you don't question about this creation, and the creation is gone, no longer there. The creation is mithya. The created is mithya, creation is no longer needed, karanatvam of Ishvara is no longer needed, Ishvaratvam is mithya, when jivatvam is also mithya, thereby nirguna brahmatvam, which is brahma bhava, which is sarvatma bhava, that is the only satta. There is no other satta. So Maya goes away means the mithyatva nischaya is complete, there is no reality lent to the world.
Okay.
And guna gunino bhava, here it is said guna guni bhavasya anishtatvat. There is no guna guni bhava at all, that's what it is saying. There is no guna guni bhava here.
No, it is, I think it is
kinchana iti guna guni bhavasya anishtatvat.
No, what I meant was Shakti mater abhedaha. That's what I meant. I had that.
Shakti mater abhedaha is all right, but then that Shakti is mithya.
Mithya. Okay, now I understood.
Yeah, it is mithya. Abheda. See, what is the abheda there? Abheda is, see, I say that. Let me ask you whether Ishvara is Nirguna Brahma or Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma. Now this Saguna Brahma, is it different from Nirguna Brahma? No. So just because he has gunatvam, he has guna, creatorship is a guna, which is brought about by Maya. Now this creatorship is a guna, there, because the guna is there, he does not become completely different, right? Saguna Brahma is not completely different from Nirguna Brahma. That Sagunatvam is mithya. That Maya Shakti is mithya. So Shakti and Shakti Matayoho Abheda, when you say that Abheda, there we are actually, what is the intention there? Is it separate or not? If you say it is Maya is separate, then there is Dvaita. Then Advaita Siddhanta Hani will be there. So we Advaitin should not say that that is an Aropa. So for that Aropa to be resolved, we give an example, Agni Ushnavata. Like the heat of the Agni is the Shakti of the Agni, the way it is not different from the Agni itself, similarly the Shakti is not different. Now they say that if you say that Shakti is not different, then also there is Advaita Hani. There is Advaita, but then it is no longer Nirguna. So Nirgunatva Hani is there. We say that Nirgunatva Hani cannot be there. Even if you take Shakti, the Shakti is explained for creatorship as a guna. So if you say that guna is making the Nirguna Brahma as Saguna, then there we say that guna is mithya, creatorship is mithya.
Okay, understood.
So we should not get confused, only as long as the creation is real, we need creatorship. When the creation is understood to be unreal, karya is asat, then why do you need karanatvam? So karanatvam is mithya. The karya is mithya, karanatvam is mithya. We do not any longer need Shakti. We do not need Maya any longer. The Maya is to explain the Karya. Karya is no longer there. Why do I need Maya? So that is this Maya yascha nivritti shrutehe.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Nirguna Brahma is no longer Saguna. Okay?
Yeah, understood.
Anything else?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Sunilji, did you have something?
Swamiji, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just a minute, I'll increase the volume. It's a little low. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So Swamiji, one doubt regarding Samadhi. See, earlier I understood Samadhi is more of a state where Manolaya happens, perhaps Manonasha doesn't happen. You go in and go out. And these few verses that what we are looking at, I mean, it certainly seems to imply that, it is essential, and not only it is essential, it would lead to Manonasha.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to link these two, Swamiji. What am I missing? Was the first one more Savikalpa Samadhi, or so that's the disconnect I'm having.
See, this just because it is Nirvikalpaka does not mean that there is Manonasha. And just because it's Savikalpa, it does not mean that there is no Vasanakshaya. So both types of Samadhis we are just interested in the difference of name. But you drop that idea of Savikalpaka or Nirvikalpaka. Savikalpaka and Nirvikalpa just means whether or not Vritti is there, whether or not Triputi is there. That has no bearing on the effect that it is creating. Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, though, since the mind is completely absorbed, therefore the Vasanas are going to be dealt with completely through the Dharma Megha. Now, Vasanakshaya, how much it has happened, and Manonasha, how much it has happened, that cannot be differentiated by Savikalpa and Nirvikalpaka. Nirvikalpaka Samadhi practiced Sada Sarvada. It has been mentioned multiple times now. Continuously being practiced. So when will you say Manonasha has happened? There is no timeline. There is no timeline. It has to be... So there is nothing else to do. Now when will you say Manonasha has happened? The entity does not even remain to question that. If Manonasha has happened, using what will you question that Manonasha has happened? So these are all just terminologies. Vasanakshaya and Manonasha, what they really mean is that Vasanas which block your Nididhyasana, your stay in Atma Tattva, those go away. Manonasha here means that it does not create any more Vikalpa. It does not create a Vikalpa as something existing separately from you. That is Manonasha. There is no Manonasha as in completely mind is destroyed. So Laya and Nasha, all these are just mere words. Here Brahmani liyate yada tada samadhi sa vikalpa varjita swata advyananda rasanubhavakah. Now, how long is that there? As long as a person is in the samadhi, so long is the manonasha. Manolaya is there. When one comes out of that samadhi, is the mind resolved or is it still there? That is the question you have to ask. When you come out of the samadhi, then is the mind there, meaning what? Is the mind creating vikalpa as something other than you, existing, really existing? Then manonasha has not happened. Only laya has happened. Therefore, he says in the next shloka, sarvada sarvata antarvahi sarvata eva sarvada swarupa vispurti ayatnata syat. Does it happen effortlessly? That is sahaja samadhi. Manonasha will lead to sahaja samadhi. What is called as see, there is no word sahaja samadhi here. I am explaining because people tend to take Ramana Maharshi's words and say sahaja samadhi, nirvikalpaka samadhi is not sahaja samadhi. The state of nirvikalpaka samadhi, so called state, there is no state. It is turiya avastha which is pervading all avasthas. The state is a state on which every other state is superimposed. That state is called as turiya. It is not really the fourth. That fourth is that which makes the other three complete. So it is pervading the all other three states. This fourth is not really a state. It is that which is there in all three states. So once you know that and once you have sakshatkar of that tattva, and in nirvikalpaka samadhi all the vasanas and are dealt with, the mind is resolved to an effect that the bija rupa vasana is no longer there to fructify dvaita. When you come out of samadhi, when you are in the samadhi, anyway it is advaita. When you come out of the samadhi, is that earlier notion that the prapancha exists separate from me, sentient or insentient, both. That is called as manonasha, and when that manonasha has happened, then the dealing with the prapancha is no longer the way it was earlier with that bheda bhava. There is sarvatma bhava, and therefore it is said antarvahi sarvataiva sarvada, that swarupa spurti will happen. That swarupa vispurti happens all the time, everywhere. That is the state of nirvikalpaka samadhi. Therefore, even without being in nirvikalpa samadhi, you are in nirvikalpaka samadhi. That is called as sahaja samadhi. The same state is called as sahaja samadhi. There is nothing else as manonasha separately, as in some other samadhi will be there, or savikalpaka is that which has not caused. This word laya and nasha are same. There is no difference between the two. The differentiation is whether out of samadhi does the mind create vikalpas or not. That's all. Whether the mind is causing the difference the way it was causing earlier. That is the difference between laya and nasha. Laya means it has gone to sleep, but when you wake up, same problems are there. A person who has immense pain, he is given some sleeping pill and he goes to sleep. The painkiller does not work when he is waking. He is put to sleep, so to say. Not completely, but he is given a sleeping pill so that at least for some hours he gets some peace. But when he wakes up, the pain is there. So manolaya is there. That is the comparison there. So the pain has resolved there, but not completely. It will come back when he wakes up. When will it go completely? When will the mind resolve completely? When you wake up and then the samsara pain is no longer there, because samsara is no longer there separate from you. That is manonasha. Okay?
Got it, sorry.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I'll see you in the next part. Namaste.